Alright, hold on. Before we get into the finale, guys, odds are 70% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. I have put my blood, sweat, and tears into this mock for over a year, guys. If you want to support the channel and help me grow and succeed, please consider subscribing. Thank you. Let's get into the video. Over 90,000 pieces, over hundreds of BrickLink orders, and 30 weeks of physical build progress. I am proud to present to you guys the Building an Axis finale. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode here on the channel. A year, guys. A year since we started the project has brought us to where we are today, to what I'm going to be showing you all today in the finale. The entirety of the project is 100% done and just in time, just in the middle of the Clone Wars Season 7 on Disney+. I cannot be more excited to show you all what we have in store for today. Now, before we go and get started, one last time, you know the drill. Huge thank you to our 2 series sponsors, Brick Stuff, for supplying a bunch of lights at a really good discount for me as a builder. If you guys are looking for any custom lights for your mocks or sets, go check them out down below. Use coupon code T, B, W 10 to save 10% off your order. And how could you forget, huge thank you to Minifigs for you for supplying a bunch of minifigures and different parts like the Bad Batch and a whole bunch of other cool things. So go ahead and give our 2 series wide sponsors here some support in the finale. I always get super excited when it comes to the finale time because it's been such a long road. It's been such a long time of work in progress and hard work to show you guys what we have today. There are a lot of cool things. Now, if you are brand new to the channel, you have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry. The first minute of the next part of this video is going to be about just giving you guys a general overview of the entire mock. I will say, however, there's a lot of important information in the outro of the video today, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. So what is Fort Anaxes? Well, Fort Anaxes is something that was showcased in the first 4 episodes of the Clone Wars brand new season on Disney+. If you guys have seen the first episode, The Bad Batch, it's the base where the Bad Batch lands. It's like a fort that is used as a staging ground for a lot of the Republic campaigns in the Anaxes region and the planet, so it's needless to say very, very important and also incredibly cool, which is why I decided to build it. So I'm not going to delay this video any further. Again, a lot of the important information will be coming in the outro of the video, so stay tuned for that. But without any further delay, let's jump on into the finale of Building an Axis in LEGO. So guys, here it is. Here is over a year's worth of work and 30 weeks of physical build. I am so happy and proud to present to you the final product of the Fort Anaxes build from the Clone Wars. There is a lot of stuff to get into in today's video, but first off, I do want to give a huge thank you to my Tier 1 supporters here on the channel. These guys have all generously donated upwards of $150 each to this project and have allowed me to take this vision beyond what I even thought it was in the beginning. So huge thank you to Snowball in the middle right there, whose figure is Kira, and then we have Lego Soldier 82 on the left and Brick Guy 99 on the right. You guys have allowed me to take this project to heights I've never even imagined, so thank you guys so much for your support. I cannot thank you enough. I will be putting you guys in a special spot in this cinematic video coming out later this week, so stay tuned for that. Once again, thank you to you 3. Now, for those of you that are new to the channel, let me give you a brief minute overview of this entire mock. If you guys have seen the Clone Wars Season 7, the first 4 episodes on Anaxes, this should look familiar. This is the giant clone fort base on Anaxes. It's essentially a big staging ground for all the campaigns and the battles that we saw in the first 4 episodes of the Clone Wars. Just to go over it briefly, we have a really nice wall surrounding the entirety of the mock here with 2 really nice guard towers here on the front, just guarding and staying watch out for those separatists. We also have a couple of buildings. There's going to be a medical bay, which again I will get into in today's video, which does look super nice. We also do have 2 different clone barracks, which you guys might have seen before, which of course we have some new stuff in today's video, so I'll get into that later. Over towards the back here we have a satellite array station. This is just for communications, and the very back there is a shield generator, very similar to the one on Hoth, but obviously just a little bit different. Now the main road here is the main focus of the mock entirely. It's just a giant clone army mobilizing and getting ready to go to battle with the separatists, so we have a whole whole bunch of clones, over 70 clones on this main road alone, 2 custom AT-TE walkers with some more troopers getting inside of them, and a couple other cool things like some really cool custom 501st AT-TEs and a whole bunch of troops like that. On top of that, we also do have 2 different landing pads here with some gunships with a whole bunch of troopers here getting inside. You can see we have some 501st Phase 2 clones in there with some gunship pilots right there with some really cool helmets, and also another gunship right here with more Phase 2 guys getting ready to lock and load. We have this gigantic mountain. There is no interior in this project. In theory, there is a giant clone base behind there as well with all different types of vehicles. I unfortunately don't have the room nor the pieces to go ahead and do more of that. You can see this is a gigantic wall which looks super nice with some cool windows on either side, a really nice door. We also have an AV7 cannon right there and some more troopers. So that's like a general overview of this entire mock. Obviously there's a lot more we have to get into today, but for those of you who have never seen this before, or if it's your first time viewing the channel, that's sort of what the brief overview of this entire project is. Now there's a lot of stuff to get into in today's video, a lot of stuff that you guys have seen already, but first off, I figure we just start with the newer things in the mock. That way we can just sort of work with the newer items that I've added for this week's finale. So first things first, we do have a couple of different unique additions here for the bark speeders. These troopers are actually being borrowed by my buddy Trevor. Leave his link down below in the description. A super talented builder. Definitely go ahead and check him out. Now these bark speeders are of course by Luca S Project, so thank you both to you guys. Again, links down below for all the builders that have designed things will be down below in the description. So the idea right here is that we have 4 different bark speeders. They're essentially the forward scout units. They're basically just going ahead of the entire column of troops. They're basically just scouting ahead. I thought they looked super cool, and I think they honestly do. So that's a really cool addition from last week. We also added a couple of newer things here along this main road. First off, we have some more troopers getting into the AT-TEs, which is nice. We also did finally put on the AT-RTs, and we also do have some custom Clone Army Customs helmets here for the AT-RT drivers, which look super cool. Really high quality too. I'm super impressed. So those look super nice. We have 4 of those guys on the mock. We also have a couple of little Easter egg troopers here. We have the Ahsoka troopers getting in the AT-TE and stuff like that. So that's sort of the newer additions to this main road. Everything you guys have seen before, so nothing too crazy there. The next big section that I worked on this week was the area behind the medical bay. There were a lot of different suggestions for how I should use this area. I decided to use it for a general staging area because there really isn't any other space on the mock for that. So that is inevitably what I ended up putting here. First things first, we do have a little cool scene with some custom airborne troopers. I'm not really sure if they were on an axis to begin with, but it's just something cool to add. They're essentially just unpacking some armaments out of a shipping container, which I think looks super cool. Here we have one of the most iconic scenes from the new season of the Clone Wars. This is when the Bad Batch meets Anakin and Captain Rex and a whole bunch of other guys. Now obviously the scene isn't entirely accurate. There is no Bad Batch shuttle unfortunately in the mock because, well, there is nowhere to put it, as you guys can see. So I think that was a cool scene to include. Obviously, we do have a couple of really cool things right here. Huge thank you to both my mans Patrick and Trevor for including this. This is, I believe, an AV Commander Cody with a straight face, clone face, and then a really cool hairpiece and a jetpack. So this is a really nice figure. Thank you, Patrick, for sending that my way. I appreciate that, bro. Links down below in the description. That was like a really cool photo opportunity, like just another really cool scene to include in the mock. And then a couple other things here. We have some custom troop transports. These are designed by Daniel or LEGO Clone 123. A super nice design. I've used them for a couple of things. You guys can see actually one over here. There's a guy driving it with some droids, pretty much just bringing them onto the gunship, which I think looks pretty cool. And then we just have some extra ones here. We have a broken battle droid and then just some cool equipment. So that was what I decided to fill this back section with. Obviously there is the interior of the medical bay, which is brand new, which I will show you, but that is sort of how this back section is looking like so far. So let me know what you guys think of that. So now before we go ahead and get into the interior of the medical bay, let's go ahead and show you guys what I've done with the interior of the barracks. Now this again is something you guys might have seen, but for those of you who are new to the channel, I'm assuming a lot of people here are going to be new to this entire build. So the barracks is just what it is. It's like a clone army barrack. I have some cool bunk beds, stuff like that. There is also a full entire video diving into this thing. But first off, I do want to give a huge thank you to our 3 tier 2 donors here on the channel. These are the $50 and up club. These are Jbbrickfanatic, TylertheClone, and Mal, or Cult of Christensen. So thank you guys to you 3. I decided to include you guys as different custom clones that weren't in an axis, but make them stand out enough to the point where you guys would know it. So thank you guys so much for all your support. You guys are the top 3 right here, so thank you guys. Now here's a really cool mini scene that I did end up including. It's just some clone troopers getting yelled at by their officer. We also do have a CA JC 501st Trooper right there, just sort of, I guess, reprimanding the rest of the troops. And then you can see we have just other troopers here on the bunk beds and stuff like that, getting ready to move out. So that was a nice little cool scene that I did want to include in the barrack. I think it's super cool. Obviously, that building is the same exact thing, but there is no interior. It's just completely empty. So that's a really cool part of the mock. And then I guess the last thing to talk about in terms of new stuff is the medical bay. Let's see if I can one-hand this. I had a significant amount of trouble doing this last. Ooh, there we go. It's the finale. So guys, here is the interior of the medical bay. There's not too much to go about, but I think it does really look nice. I know from the beginning of my idea to include the medical bay to begin with, there was going to be these little back-to-tanks, which are super cool. It's meant to obviously help clones rejuvenate or just get more healthy from their battle wounds. So I included 4 of those, which does look super cool. I do have 4 of the Luke back the tank figures from, I believe it's the Hoth Medical Chamber set. So basically all I did was just include the clone face on them, and that was that. We also have a couple of medical beds here with some medical droids, so that's kind of a really cool scene too, if a clone trooper is getting checked out or something like that, which is super nice. We do want to give a huge thank you to Bricktorian Guard for helping me design these little cool beds. That was super nice, and just overall the medical bay. But I think the medical bay really turned out cool. I also had these giant like slope pieces, which I thought looked super cool, so I wanted to just divide every single one of the stations just to make it look more like I guess like an official medical bay. I don't know, I thought it looked really nice. So that was sort of what the medical bay is looking like. The flooring is pretty simple. It's just a combination of tiles and wedge plates. We do have some guards here. That middle guard is actually a custom decal version. I think it's of the Camino guard, but I was like, you know what, let's throw them in there. That is actually decaled by my friend James, which is super cool. And then we have 2 normal phase 2 troopers just on either side, just guarding and stuff like that. So that's the medical bay. Hopefully it lived up to some form of hype. I definitely ran out of pieces a little bit, but I think it definitely gets the job done. You can definitely understand what the point of it is, and I think it turned out really nice. So let me know what you guys think. Of course, like I said, that roof is entirely modular, which is really, really cool. So if I'm done, I could just sort of throw it on here, and then obviously it's sort of just done like that. So that is a really cool part of the mock that I really, really enjoy. And also another really cool new thing here, we actually included some custom carts, if that makes sense. I found this design off of Bricklink. I actually made a couple of changes to it, but here we have a phase 2 driver pulling a cart. Behind there is actually oxygen tanks. I thought that was really cool, that I could simulate, you know, supplies being brought into the medical bay for all the patients and stuff like that. Another really cool one that we did have in the mock now is going to be this fuel cart, which is actually refueling the gunship, which does look super, super cool. And the last one is this little missile rack here for the AV7 cannon, designed by M5 Builds. This is a really cool scene. So another really cool like little thing that I wanted to include, just to sort of bring the entire mock together, which I think does look super, super nice. Now I also did actually include another section of clone troopers. I figured I'd had enough for another column, so I figured I'd just put them there and just add them to the giant procession. We also have a couple of different groups of clone troopers surrounded in the mock. There's like a little group of troopers running around getting their PT in, and then we also have just some more guys being called to action right there. So definitely a decent amount of newer things were definitely included, that's for sure. Now I remember when I first started the series and I told you guys there would be no battle inherently in this project. I know a lot of you guys were disappointed, but I wanted to really knock it out of the park with the idea of this giant clone army in the fort getting ready to go kick some butt, and I think we really did well with that. There are over 175 clones here on the entire fort. Honestly, it's probably about 200. You guys can see there's pretty much clones everywhere you look. There's a giant procession in the middle, bark spears. We have more right here, more in the barracks, more guarding, more running. There's a bunch of clones. You can see nearly every iconic Clone Wars vehicle, the gunship, the AT-TE, which are probably 2 of the most prominent vehicles from the Clone Wars. I think we did a really good job with this mock, guys. And I say guys because you guys were an equal part of this project for me. You guys watching, you guys subscribing, you guys donating. Even though we only named 6 different people for donating, there were over 36 people who donated some amount of money to help me with this project and make it what it is today. So you guys were such an integral part of this series, and I had a blast making it. Now obviously there are a lot more really cool areas to show you, but I'm gonna make you wait for the cinematic video. With every mock I do like a 3-minute cool B-roll cinematic video with some really nice music, no talking, no commentary, just some really nice pans and shots. So I'm gonna obviously make you wait a little bit for that one, which should be coming by the end of this coming week. The biggest thing that I'm happy about with this mock is that middle road, making it look so iconic, making it look just packed with so much stuff, and I think we did that really, really well. So that is Anaxes, guys. It is done. 100% done. Everything is done after a year. It's crazy that we've been working on it for this long, and it's sort of crazy to think that this thing's done now. Like, I don't have to build anymore. I don't have to spend time every single week building a gunship or an AT-TE or a building or spending $100 on the mountain. I don't have to do that anymore. I could just sit back, relax, and just stare at this beauty of a mock right next to, of course, the beauty of a Star Destroyer, which I don't have enough room for. But I digress, and it's crazy to think that all the streams, all the videos, all the build series episodes, everything like that has paid off and accumulated to what we have to show you today in this final finale, and I am blown away with what this has turned into. I am keeping my fingers crossed that Brick Fair Virginia is going to happen. It will be there. The mock will be there as long as the convention is going on. I really, really hope that you guys can come down and see it, because this thing is magnificent, especially this shot right here. You can see both the towers, all the buildings, the AT-TE, and then of course that beautiful, beautiful wall in the background. So there's so many times where I find myself waking up and just staring at this entire beauty, because it's so nice to look at. But guys, that wraps up this video. I hope you all enjoyed the finale. Guys, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel. This is not the last project we're doing. We got more coming soon, but we're going to be focusing on making some really cool videos with this guy. So let's go ahead and head to the outro of today's video. So guys, that brings this series to a close. From week 1 to the finale, the Building Anaxes in LEGO series is officially over, and it's an incredibly bittersweet moment. It's sweet because I've worked so long and so hard, and you guys know there was a huge problem we had in the first month or so, and it's sad to see that go, though. It's bitter because I don't want the series to end, because I've had so much fun with you guys and building this, but it's also sweet because look at the mock. It's so cool to look at. It looks great in the end. So it's definitely conflicting emotions whenever we hit the finale of an episode or of a series here on the channel, but I hope you guys nonetheless enjoyed. For those of you who have stick with me throughout the entirety of this build series, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And for those of you who are just joining us now, welcome to the family. We're going to be doing countless more build series here on the channel, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. So in the beginning, I said there was a lot of important information to understand, so let's go ahead and jump into that, guys. A little bit of house cleaning for the video. First off, this is obviously not the last video that you guys will be seeing of the project. I have 2 more videos in mind. One at least is a cinematic video. It's something I do with every mock that I build. It's a short 2-3 minute cool cinematic movie. It has some really cool music, no commentary, just super cool angles and shots. So that's coming very soon. Also, there will be a full in-depth review of the Anaxes mock. That's going to probably be like a 40-50 minute video. It's going to be essentially breaking down everything about the mock from front to back. That video is going to take probably a week and a half to make, because inherently it's such a long video. So those are the 2 videos I have so far. Now I also do want to do like a minifigure showcase, in which I pretty much show you every single minifigure, what it's doing, and like its function inherently in the mock. So let me know what you guys think of those 3 video ideas. If you have any more video or content ideas for the project, let me know. I'm always all ears to hear you guys' suggestions. And I cannot stress this enough, guys, one last time. If you are not subscribed, please go ahead and consider subscribing. It helps me out a ton. It helps me build and grow and succeed here on the channel, which of course is what I want to do. So definitely go ahead and subscribe to the channel with the bell icon on. That wraps up the series. This is the last time I'm signing off on an Anaxes series video, which is kind of crazy to think about. If you guys have any comments, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Let me know what videos you want me to make, anything like that. But that's gonna wrap it up, I think. So guys, for the last time, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you have a great, wonderful day. This is Matt signing off on the last Anaxes episode. Take it easy. Peace.